Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. At least 14 people died after a fire hit a passenger ship off the coast of Basilan on Wednesday night. The MV Lady Mary Joy 3 was carrying 205 passengers when it caught fire off Balukbaluk Island at around 10 p.m. The vessel was on its way to Sulu from Zamboanga. As of 8 a.m., around 190 passengers have been rescued. Residents near the explosion immediately helped out to rescue survivors. Search and rescue operations are continuing while authorities are still trying to determine the cause of the blaze.
So yung mga constituents natin, mga barangay officials ng Balukbaluk, nag-coordinate na po sa atin, mismo yung mga private boats nila, bangka nila, ay ginamit po natin yon pang rescue para sa mga passengers ng MV Mary Joy.
In other news, some 575 kilos of methamphetamine or shabu have been seized by authorities in a house in Baguio City. Authorities say the total haul is worth 4 billion pesos, the biggest to date in the city. The suspected shabu was found inside Chinese tea bags. During the operation, authorities arrested Chinese national Ming Hui, alias Tan, who is an occupant of the house. The DILG suspects that the shabu could have been brought to the Cordilleras for storage and was supposed to be distributed elsewhere. Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos believes that the seized drugs could possibly be part of the 900 kilos recently discovered in Metro Manila, citing similar markings.
Magtataka kayo bakit andito mga kapulisyahan ng National Capital Region. Kaya nagpunta po sila rito because this is a continuing operation, no, ng NCRPO at ng PIDEA. Ito'y simula lamang. Marami pa itong.
Meanwhile, the PNP notes that based on initial information, none of the illegal drugs have been distributed. Speaking to the big story, Baguio City Mayor Ben Magalong says that he believes the illegal drugs were brought into the city by syndicates as anti-drug operations in Metro Manila have intensified. Magalong adds that they will not stop the investigation until they identify who the syndicate's contacts are in the city.
Alam nila kung saan nila ilalagay, kilala nila, alam nila kung ano yung mga bakante, may contact sila sa Baguio. And we will not stop. I directed the police, we will not stop the investigation until such time we'll be able to identify who is their contact in the city of Baguio.
And former Negros Oriental Governor Pride Henry Teves is facing charges for the possession of illegal firearms and explosives. This is in connection with the seizure of firearms, ammunition, and explosives during a raid at a sugar mill in Negros Oriental. The property is operated by HDJ Bayawan Agri-Ventures Corporation, which Teves is reportedly the president of. 3 people were arrested and subjected to inquest proceedings, while Teves will be undergoing preliminary investigation. Although Teves was not physically present during the raid, he was charged as the subject of the warrant. The former governor's license to carry firearms was also revoked. Pride said that the police will assist him in surrendering his firearms. 3 suspects are allegedly being pressured by authorities to tag the Teves brothers in burying the illegal firearms that were found in their property. Marlene Alcaide with the story.
The 3 suspects arrested in the sugar mill owned by former Negros Oriental Governor Pride Henry Teves remain under the custody of the PNP-CIDG. They were arrested at the former governor's compound where several firearms, explosives, and a huge amount of money were seized during a search. Their lawyers say the 3 are complaining that the PNP-CIDG has been pressuring them to tag the former governor and his brother, Congressman Arnie Teves, as the ones who ordered to burn the firearms in their property.
Kasi sinasabi nila from day one that they were arrested, there was already pressure being exerted against them. Hindi dinetalye sa akin pero ay kahapon lang nang pinuntahan ko sila, 4 na beses na daw silang kinausap. Only for that day. Pinapaamin po daw sila na
Attorney Michael Melia says the suspects were told by the police that if they won't cooperate, they could face several cases.
Pressure to file several malicious cases against them.
With this development, Melia says the families of the suspects will file a complaint with the Commission on Human Rights. Meanwhile, Congressman Teves's lawyer, Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, is appealing to Interior Secretary Benher Abalos to investigate this matter.
Please, I do not believe at this point na meron po kayong kinalaman dito sa panggigipit na ito. So under nyo po ang mga kapulisan. Pakitignan po itong ginagawang ito. Please lang.
Ganito yan kumisang kasi, lahat ng gagawin mo, uunahan ka na eh. Lahat, kunyari sabihin, panggigipit. Lahat ng gagawin ko, panggigipit na. Hindi pa nangyayari. Kamukha nung araw, sinasabi niya, paplantahan siya. Pare, pagkatapos ng patayan, at tsaka lamang nahuli lahat, hindi ba?
For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
Time now to take a quick break, but One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Vatican says that Pope Francis was admitted to a hospital in Rome for a respiratory infection. In a statement, the Vatican spokesman, Matteo Bruni, said that the pontiff was admitted to Rome's Gemelli Hospital for medical checks, which revealed, quote, a respiratory infection that will require a few days of appropriate medical treatment in hospital. A Vatican source confirmed the Pope's recent engagements have been canceled, with more likely to be canceled as well during a very busy period for the pontiff because of the Holy Week. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Department of Education will study the proposal to revert the schedule of school breaks from April and May. This comes amid calls of one lawmaker and other educational stakeholders due to the extreme heat. The Health Department says it is looking into the standardization of salaries of nurses, doctors, and healthcare workers. The country is currently facing a shortage of nurses due to migration. And the Philippines' outstanding debt has soared to 13.7 trillion pesos as of February. This is higher by over 54 billion pesos from January. This increase is attributed to the issuance of domestic securities. One News Now will be back at 3 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.